Hi there. Today is Sunday, October 17th, which makes this the week 41 Return to Creativity update with your hostess, Jennifer Vanderbeek of scrapsoflife.com. Hi, how you doing? Oh, how's your week been? Have you made time for yourself? Have you carved out a little bit? Kind of keep yourself happy and healthy regardless of all that's going on in the world? I hope so. Um I have, and there were moments where I could have done a little bit more for myself, but that's okay. It's not as my therapist reminds me, or kind of, we bring up progress is not linear, and you're gonna it's normal to stumble and then have to kind of get back up and dust yourself off and try again. So, this week I've been doing a lot of editing on book 2. I'm trying to get the book 2 edits, um, locked down, at least this kind of first, second pass through, so that I can get those entered and sent off to beta readers so that I've got a little bit of time, for them to do their thing, because the goal is to get book 1 out this month, and it's the 17th, so that's okay. That's alright. I got my edits back from, the first 10K, 10,000 word edit that I won through the Frightfully Cozy, book fair giveaway, and they're super helpful, super enlightening, and they do show that I need to do some work on book 1, and that's okay. So this week is gonna be really drilling down and focusing on, once I get the book 2 stuff entered and then sent off to beta readers, then I will dig back into book 1 and really kind of work on incorporating the suggestions from the beta readers and from the editor, and just kind of, really trying to get it to its final state. Okay, so that I can be released by the end of the month. Woo! Inktober has been going okay. I did take a couple of days off, just because life, it happens. I also had the opportunity, I mentioned last week, briefly, that I had the opportunity to volunteer for the Unvacant Lot mural for the Wildlife Arts Fest. And so I was out there Wednesday afternoon and a little bit on Friday again. And oh my gosh, I learned so much just in those brief periods of time. And it was nice to kind of, meet and talk to some local artists in town. And our featured artist for Wildlife Arts Festival this year, she actually lives in the Savannah area. So she's not super far away. But it was just nice to kind of, connect with other artists, local and semi-local. So that was really fun, although it was exhausting to be out there. I'm not really an outdoor art type of I mean, yeah, I did the, sidewalk art sidewalk chalk art, project, a couple years ago. I think that was September of 2019, and that was all well and good. I mean, that was the morning mostly. And yeah, it was whew. But yeah, and we had great weather. It was just, especially on Friday, I think the humidity was just too high, and I was dog tired by the time I got home. So yeah, there were a couple of days where I was just like, "Ugh." I have been continually knitting on the Magical Thinking pullover shawl, and I'm up to about 227 stitches on the increases. Again, the end result is gonna be like 315, so I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Feeling good about it still, of course, and, it's a nice, good, relaxing project to work on. One of the other things I did this week was really get into my Halloween costume. Now, last week I said that, I was going to this costume party here in town, and it's Harry Potter themed, so I'm going as Professor Trelawney. And so I had found some pieces that I could use with a little bit of embellishment. And then I found, then I ordered fabric for like the skirt and I had to dig through my fabric stash to find the pieces to add to what I'd ordered. And yesterday, that's basically what I spent all of yesterday doing. I embellished and I'm gonna pull a picture down off my phone and put it over here. So yeah, I had managed to I had to sew down the placket so that it wouldn't gape of the, kind of like the overdress. And then I had to add the tassels and then another layer of ribbon just to kind of make it look right. And then I repeated that. That was the entire bottom of the top or overdress. And then I added similar trim to the sleeves. I made the skirt from scratch. Very simple, down and dirty costuming. Basically made a tube of fabric, um, added the two different pieces on the bottom. I won't go into detail on those. Um, Although I am proud of myself for the way I decided to do it, and I think it was rather clever in the end result. And then basically, so I built the skirt tube, and then once I had the trim and stuff on the bottom, then I kind of held it up to me and I said, all right, so I need it to fall this much below the hem of the first piece, but I also have to leave room for the boots and socks to be visible. So we need it about here. That means, okay. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to cut off here, make a little channel, sew a channel, and then insert some elastic, and boom, it's done. So very, very simple. But it's okay because the overdress has pockets. Not to mention, I do have a prop handbag, which that is one of the things I still need to work on. But anyway, then the final piece. Oh, I also found some fabric to sew into a tube to make the head wrap, the bandana scarf deal that she wears at her hairline, and of course I've got the wig. And then the final thing was taking this chenille blanket that I had purchased at I don't know, was it TJ Maxx? I think it was TJ Maxx. Yeah, it was a chenille, blanket or throw that had the great fringe on it. That's what I was really looking for. I did not wanna have to do a lot of fringe by hand. Work smarter, not harder. And, so yeah, I basically kind of treated it a little bit like a ruana, which if you're not familiar what a ruana is, it's basically it's kinda looks like a blanket, but it's got, you've got the blanket shape and you cut there's like a slit for like rather than it just being a slit where it's like a poncho where you make a neck hole, but there's also a slit that goes down the front. So I started off like that. I just kind of cut like the front half to kind of fit around my dressmaking dummy, and just kind of like okay, and then basically drafted it there on the mannequin. I turned over parts of it to kind of make a lapel, and of course it's like it's chenille, it's a loose weaves, and it's kind of like I'm like okay, so we're getting some natural fringe here along this area. And then I'm like, okay, rather than just leaving it as like a cape or just a big blanket, I did kind of go in and kind of figure out where and kind of carved out a little bit of shape on the sides, but it's still very loose, very flowy, um, and very cozy. So, if it survives the costume party, then, I think that might just be a good like cuddle shawl or something for winter. Because it's soft and it's cozy and everything. So that pretty much did it for the majority of the costume itself. Now it's just accessories. So I bought like a wicker purse at Goodwill and some pillow shams that kind of have a similar patterning to the carpet bag that she has in the movie. And I'm going to cover the wicker purse with the fabric harvested from the pillow sham. And I need to add fringe to the head wrap and, maybe a few more things there and there. Um, I bought a clear glass bottle that I'm going to decorate into the sherry bottle that she starts nipping into with the stress in when Dolores Umbridge um, is around. that drives her to the cooking sherry is one of the things that was in the book. So I can have that like poking out of the bottle. I've got or the purse. I've got a teacup that I found at Goodwill that I'm going to, decorate on the inside with tea leaves. Um, I haven't found a good crystal ball that I wouldn't be worried about dropping. So I may skip the crystal ball, but I'll use one of my tarot decks and keep in the bag. Just little props, just little fun things. I haven't decided if I'm going to make a wand of hers or not. Her wand, from what I've found online, is pretty simple, but I just haven't decided if I'm going to do it or not yet. Um, and necklaces. So necklaces and bracelets, maybe, or something like that. I need to go through my costume jewelry um collection and see what I can use of that. And then maybe make a couple of more necklaces to really kind of just finish it off. Oh, and my glasses came in. Let me go grab them. They're too perfect, and by that I mean, oh my goodness, I don't think I would ever wear these in normal wear. But all right, are we ready? Are we ready? Hello. Now, I know in the movie hers were more oval, and of course they magnified her eyes. I thought these, in the book she's described as like being almost bug-eyed, and so I thought the big, heavy, black, round frames would probably be the best for that. I don't know. Do these? Oh, I can't really tell. I don't know. They might magnify my eyes a little bit. I'm not sure. Um, I'm nearsighted, so that's is usually the opposite. It makes my eyes look smaller. But anyway, I think the effect is there. Um, and overall, and of course, I could also probably do a decent like Edna Mode costume from The Incredibles, and who knows how many different things. They're a little Anna Wintour as well, I think. But yeah, so that was fun. Those came in, and yes, so now I have a pair of glasses that I can actually see out of. They are not just a prop, they are functional. And then Todd's got his costume stuff working. Also, I got my copies I had ordered some, author copies or, yeah, sellable copies of my coloring books. They came in on Friday, and the copies of the new version of Rating Party are due in this coming week, I think. And I'm still debating on whether or not I'm going to do that craft show in November. I'm leaning towards yes, but I do have to check on a couple of things before I do. I don't want to get super sidetracked on that, which it's very hard not to. My brain keeps making plans and I'm like, but I have books to yeah, so that's the whole, follow the dopamine but yet keep on track challenge that some of us face. Anyway, that wow, putting all of that like that. Oh, and I went to a book club this week. Yeah, I had this past week I had Book to Art, where we talked about The Sin Eater. Very good book. Really liked it. It's kind of alternate history from like the Elizabethan period. A lot of cool elements. Yeah, it was just a really, really good read. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Um, this week coming up, I have another book club on Monday. We're talking about the Dakota Winters. It's interesting, not as good as Sin Eaters, but it's completely different type of book. Um, but yeah, so I've got that on Monday, and I have therapy on Thursday, I believe. Yes, I have therapy on Thursday. I had to check the date. And yeah, just and then a lot of work on the book. A lot of work on the book. I really need to I'm glad I spent yesterday focusing on the costume because that kind of takes a weight off my mind, knowing like, oh, am I going to get this done? Because I could wear it the way it is now and everything, and it would be perfectly fine. Anything I do from here on out is gravy. Now, or maybe not gravy. Gravy isn't my most favorite thing. Icing, however, so it's icing. It's icing on the costume cake. Um, but yeah, so moving right along, but I really need to focus on the books this week, which might mean Inktober takes a back seat. I really do need to concentrate on the books, and I think I might have been using Inktober as a procrastivity tool. Um, it was really cool to do a lot of portraits, and I could still use the practice, but instead of that being the first thing I do every day, it might switch to being something I do in the evening, around dinner time or something, before I get back to editing. I don't know. We'll see. At any rate, also, the weather is starting to cool off a little bit again. I really hope that it sticks around. Um, Not only because I like this weather, but because my sinuses, go wonky every time the weather patterns shift. So yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the coming week. I'm looking forward to the rest of the month, and I'm looking forward to checking more things off of my things I want to get done list. Not a bucket list, not a to-do list per se, but an achievement list. And I know life doesn't have to always be about achievements. We are worthy just because we are here, not because of what we produce or provide to others. We are worthy in that we exist. But I really want to get this first book. I want to meet this deadline that I've set for myself. I want to get book 1 out by the end of the month. And to do that, I've got not only work to do on the book, but also work to do in the background. And I've got to at least get the cover and a little snippet done of book 2 so that I've got something to kind of append to book 1 when it goes live. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot more to finishing the first book that's not finishing the first book. You know what I mean? So, anyway, um, I'm gonna try and stay focused this week. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna try. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead. Um, if it's not all sunshine and rainbows, um, I feel for you. I'm there with you. I acknowledge that sometimes things just suck. If you can find a silver lining, no matter how thin or how tarnished, um, I think it helps, but we don't, at the risk of engaging in toxic positivity, or romanticizing suffering, get through what you need to get through. And if at all possible, make some time for yourself, be a little bit creative, pat yourself on the back, love yourself, and love those around you. All right. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.